Alright, keep on rolling, baby. Okay, I don't know what that was, just kind of got the Limp Bizkit thing stuck in my head, and I was thinking, okay, we're doing Red Wings, that's Motor City, that's the Winged Wheel, it's okay to say keep on rolling, right? That kind of makes sense. We're talking about the Red Wings here today because we have some more news that I wanted to discuss, and not necessarily some big game-breaking kinds of things, just a few updates that I think kind of push themselves towards together nicely. So, without further ado, let's go over the news that we had a few days ago. Yeah, so Jeff Blashill is coming back. He is a guy who is over here as the Red Wings head coach, and he's a guy whom a lot of fans, we all kind of understand that Jeff Blashill isn't really like the best coach in the world. The decisions aren't normally, A grade when it comes to who goes out there, who gets paired with whom, and just however long some people are out there compared to others. It's not really the most sophisticated thing in the world, but again, it's the Red Wings, so you can't really go out there and expect any coach of any caliber to come over here and make this team a contender or whatever, and that's not really what the Red Wings are supposed to be in this current time frame that they're in. So the fact that Jeff Blashill, specifically a guy who has had a pretty bad losing record with the team, is still back here, it's not the end of the world, especially with the fact that Blashill himself is only being extended for one more season. Despite the fact, though, I wanted to go over some of these quotes from Yzerman himself talking about Jeff Blashill and why he decided to keep him. Here's the article on NHLTradeTalk.com, Yzerman on why he re-signed Red Wings head coach Jeff Blashill despite the team's lack of success. The article opens up by talking about how the Red Wings signing Blashill again wasn't really the most well-received piece of news amongst Red Wings fans, but it wasn't really the big, outrageous cry for change that existed in other markets, for example, like Vancouver. If you're a Canucks fan, things are absolutely crazy right now with Benning and the Aquilinis and all this stuff. And that is a cry for help. That is a whole bunch of season ticket holders canceling their tickets and all that. That's not what this is right here with the Blashill thing. It's just, okay. He hasn't really been great here, but at the end of the day, it's not like the Red Wings are really losing out on anything if they keep Blashill around for one more year. So it was more disappointment, not really super frustration, anger coming out here with the Red Wings fan base. Because at the end of the day, we all kind of know where the Red Wings are and what they're supposed to be. And any short-term one-year change from last year to this year, or this year to next year, it's not going to be too drastic, if you ask me, so it doesn't really matter that Blashill is coming back. He is indeed the third longest tenured coach in the NHL right now, and, that's an interesting piece of news, especially with the fact that the Red Wings are indeed a rebuilding club. But this is what Steve Yzerman said about Blashill and why exactly he decided to bring him back. I feel our team is collectively very competitive. We play hard. That's a reflection of the coaching staff, and I see that progress is being made. Blashill has really shown the willingness to work with me with working young players into the lineup. Okay, really? Oh boy. He hasn't handed them opportunities. Yep, I definitely understand that. And he has made them work for it. While some fans are saying they don't see progress in the young core of the team, Yzerman does not agree, and he believes a coach who took AHL players to a championship is the right guy to work this young team into shape, that he's been saddled with nothing more than a mediocre team at best and made them compete. The team's losing record is probably not the highest of priorities for Steve Yzerman, which definitely is not surprising. We said it the entire time, this Red Wings team is not really supposed to go out there and be a top-of-the-division team, so having another year or two of mediocrity while you're still going through the rebuild is not really the worst thing in the world. Another point that this article brings up is the fact that you have yourselves what is technically a losing team, but at the end of the day, not only do players not ask to be traded out of Detroit, but they want to stay, despite the fact that many of these players have only signed one-year deals. It's rare in today's NHL when playing on a winning team means an awful lot. One of those examples is right here. It's Jonathan Bernier, who says that he and his family really like it in Detroit and that it's his top choice going into next year. It's all just up to Steve Yzerman as to what the plan is for him. And honestly, that's a really good step. It's a really big, contribution to the culture that is being built with the Red Wings under this new Yzerman regime. The fact that you have old, aging veterans signing with Detroit with the intention of maybe getting traded at the trade deadline. You acquire these guys in trades and free agency like Bobby Ryan and Stahl, for example. They play here. Sometimes they get traded, like John Merrill to the Canadiens. He's playing in the playoffs right now. You have Anthony Mantha getting sent over to Washington. He's playing in the playoffs right now. But other times, they don't get traded. They just stay here. Bobby Ryan is still in Detroit. And you have the media interviews coming out saying, yeah, if I come back, I honestly wouldn't be too upset. Like, this is great what we have over here in the Red Wings system. My family likes it here. I like the guys in the room. It's this culture, you know? Steve Yzerman is bringing together not only just a group of competitive hockey players, but just guys who like playing with each other. And that in itself is a pretty good thing when you're looking at the standings and saying, darn, that Red Wings team, man, despite the fact that they're really bad, they're a team that knows what they're doing, and in fact, they like what they're doing. And that's pretty good too. Going over to a few other Red Wings pieces of news, though, let's go over William Wallinder. He is a Red Wings prospect drafted out of the 2020 NHL entry draft. We spoke the other day about Emil Viro, as he became the second of the two Red Wings third-round picks in the 2020 draft to sign a contract. Now, Wallinder has not signed a contract, but he has been confirmed to where exactly he is going to be playing his next stage in his hockey career. And lo and behold, it's a team that all of us over here in Red Wings Nation are kind of familiar with. William Wallinder, 18-year-old left-handed defenseman playing formerly in the Allsvenskan, is going over to the Rögle BK in the SHL. Man, let's go, baby. Let's go. Rögle has been so good to the Red Wings defensive development system in the past, calendar year with Moritz Seider. In fact, not even calendar year, more like half a year, pretty much. Seider was an absolute gem for the Rögle BK. In fact, he ended up winning the SHL's Defenseman of the Year award. That's another piece of news that I wanted to slip in there because we haven't talked about it yet, but that indeed did happen. He was over there as the best defenseman in the SHL, and now Rögle is getting another prospect in Detroit to suit up for their blue line. William Wallinder is a crazy, mobile, dynamic, offensively minded defenseman with a lot of room for development on the defensive side of the game. In his own end, William Wallinder isn't really the most refined guy, but when it comes to having the puck on his stick and telling him to just go wheel with it, go skate with it, go in the offensive zone and do something with it, he's a crazy, crazy good offensive mind. Despite the fact that he hadn't really been producing so much at the Allsvenskan level, because when you're playing with pro guys, it's a little bit more difficult to go out there and do your thing. But everywhere he's gone, he has been a point-producing machine. We'll see how exactly that translates in an SHL system that is a lot more defensively minded than certain Junior 20 programs in Sweden. So that's going to be a really big change to Wallinder in how exactly he is going to approach the game. And I'm really interested in seeing the next step in his development. If this guy can hone his defensive game a lot more, start to stabilize himself in the defensive zone and learn that awareness a little bit more, he could be a very strong candidate for being a number 3, number 4 defenseman in the long-term future for the Red Wings. We just have to wait and see. Sticking to the prospects, though, we have one more piece of news. We already spoke about Emil Viro starting his contract the other day. Another Red Wings prospect has inked himself on paper. It is Jonathan Berggren. And yes, we have spoken a ton about Berggren this season and last season, I believe. He is a Red Wings pick from the 2018 draft. One of the top SHL players in scoring this year, despite the fact that he wasn't really played as much as the other guys at the top of the league. He's a skilled, shifty forward who has some pretty good offensive talent. And with this signing, we'll see what exactly happens when he either makes his way over to Grand Rapids full-time, or if he impresses in training camp or something. We'll see how exactly his 2021-2022 is going to go down. I don't really want to go too deep into Berggren because we've already made a whole bunch of videos talking about this guy, how despite the fact that he's only 20, he was on the international team, and how he was doing this and that, and was getting all these points, and yeah. We've made tons of videos about him, so go ahead and check those out if you had not seen them already. Thank you to those in the previous Detroit Red Wings video all those days ago who commented our comment section keyword. I believe it was Rögle. No, that was 2 videos ago. It was Panic at the Disco. That's what it was. Yes, Panic. Richard Panic at the Disco. Thank you to those in the video about Mantha who commented that. If you want a chance to be featured in the next Red Wings video, then hey, comment down in the comment section below. Wally, the Disney character, because we spoke about William Wallinder here, and you can kind of see the connection there. Wallander, Wally, speak and spell, whatever that is. Yeah, talk to me in the comments about the Red Wings, Blashill coming back, the prospect updates, Seider getting his award, Wallinder in there, taking over the reins in Regla, as well as Berggren signing his contract too. Talk to me in the comments what you think about all that stuff. I hope you enjoyed. This was Josh Rolls 99, and bye.